and Country Real Estate, Macari & Co, Thurlow Fisher Lawyers, the Australian Lebanese Cultural Union, and Lauren Ong Hair Salon. Give them all a big round of applause, please. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker requires your attention. I've selfishly followed this woman for a while. I admire her tenacity. I admire her clear direction. I admire the direction in which she is heading. Ladies and gentlemen, State Member for Vaucluse and Leader of the Opposition of New South Wales, the Honourable Kelly Sloan.
Hello everyone. Gosh, I wasn't ready to come up, but I love that song. You know, you just cost me a raffle ticket. I was just about to buy some raffle tickets, so please spend up and make sure you support everything tonight. Can I just say how thrilled I am to be here with so many friends in the room, so many familiar faces all here, including the dignitaries, to support such a wonderful organisation in Oz Arab Media.
Now, I hate doing this, I really do. But I'm going to ask for your respect first and foremost, your silence second, and your attention completely. Please.
Now that was amazing. I need him at home to take control of my 3 boys, and maybe in the bear pit in Macquarie Street. Can I just extend my welcome also to all the dignitaries in the room. It's so wonderful to be here with you and to pay tribute to such an extraordinary organisation in Oz Arab Media. And can I say, a couple of careers ago, before I was the Leader of the Opposition, a long time ago, I too was a journalist. And there's a couple of people in the room here that remember me from that time, including one of my former bosses in John Ciafetti. But that has given me a bit of a soft spot for colleagues in the media. I know how important your job is. And when I walk into a room anywhere in Western, Southwestern Sydney, I usually see Christine and she barrels up with a microphone. But her job is so important, and so is that of Charbel and Remy and the team. Because you are storytellers and you are connectors, and you make such a difference to people's lives, and the stories you tell are so important. So tonight is about recognising your important work right across our city, representing a room of people that defines our city and our state, the breadth and experience of our multicultural groups, which we really need to celebrate tonight. We know that our nation and our state was built on the contributions of countless people from every background and every walk of life, united by our shared Australian values. Together we are bound by those enduring lines: we are one, but we are many. And tonight we also celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit which has made Australia so prosperous. And the AIM Business Awards recognise something that has always helped drive Australia forward, that people are willing to take risks, work hard, create jobs and give back to their communities. Now, for the businesses and entrepreneurs in the room here, I had a little word with your Labor colleagues that they won't be taking your 47% cut of your profits, provided you dig deep tonight and support those incredible charities that we are supporting, including Parramatta Mission, whose work is just so important. So can I just say, on behalf of the New South Wales Opposition, thank you for the work you do. Thank you to the many media organisations right across our state and our city. You are such an important voice. You bring us together. And so tonight I'm so very proud to be standing here and celebrating each and every one of you. Thank you very much.
Well, everyone, a big round of applause again, if you don't mind, for the State Member for Vaucluse and Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Kelly Sloan. Well, companies like Tropicana, the Australian Lebanese Medical Union, Fair Support Services, Done For You Events, Simon Diab and Associates, and the Greater Cumberland Chamber of Commerce, a big round of applause to you, of course, for being our sponsors this evening as well. Now, our next speaker gives his time over and over again. I've never seen this man not give his time up. He's asked a question. The answer is yes. Of Lebanese background, we should be proud, despite, or doesn't matter what political persuasion he sits on. He's Lebanese, he's proud, he is the Minister for Customer Services and Digital Government, Minister for Emergency Services, Minister for Youth Justice, representing the Premier, the Honourable Chris Minns. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause, please, for the Honourable Jihad Dib, State Member for Bankstown.
I almost did another dance across there. I was going to do the moonwalk. I've just seen the MJ movie, so maybe I'll do the after dinner speech and we'll see the moonwalk happening. John, thanks so much. I said it when I walked in. You're a great bloke. I love everything that you do, mate. But honestly, if I've ever seen a Lebanese James Bond, you've got to be in the next movie, 100%. And when you go to Turkey to fix up your hair, I'm going to be there with you as well. So any travel agents out there. I did get quite a few questions about Tony Burke. If anyone's got their visa needs to be sorted or they've got a cousin they need to bring from overseas, you'll find him on table number 26. I'll be there later. Sorry, Tony. But no, on a serious note, I just want to say how great it is to be here again, as always, and to be here with the community. And I appreciate that people want to have a conversation, but just hold out for 1 sec. I don't have an update on the Bulldogs, but I think they're losing, so I'm sorry about that. Parramatta fans will be happy, Dragons fans don't care. I'm one of those people. But Remy, I just had to double check that it was 4 years. Because quite seriously, I would have thought that it's many, many more than 4 years. For what you and the team have achieved is absolutely phenomenal. And I want to acknowledge Kelly and something that she said that I really want to pick up on, which was, it's about storytelling. And I often talk about the Australian story, and probably right now, more than any other time, we need to talk about the Australian story because we are all the Australian story. And it doesn't matter whether, like me, you were born overseas and you came here and you made a life for yourself, or whether you can trace back your lineage hundreds of years. Every one of us is a contributor to Australia and to the Australian story. Every one of us is a jigsaw piece. And every one of our jigsaw pieces are a little bit different. But that's what makes us unique. But when you put all those jigsaw pieces together, that's what creates that great Australian story. And no matter where you came from, we're all part of that great Australian story. And what Oz Arab Media does is it tells our great Australian story. It tells it in a way that everyone can understand. That it doesn't matter if English is not your first language, that you can participate. And in a time when the world is more divided and people look to try and pull others apart, what we see is an organisation that's doing exceptionally well, that brings people together, that shares stories, that celebrates success, that brings us all. And it's not just about the Arabs. There are people here from many different countries and many different ambassadors, and you've got so many members of parliament. And I do want to acknowledge in particular one ambassador, and I want to acknowledge the new Palestinian ambassador to Australia, Dr. Amjad. Welcome to Australia. Welcome to Australia, Dr. I know that the hearts are with everybody for a peace. So tonight, celebrate. This is wonderful. To Remy and to the team, you do incredible work. And to all of you here out celebrating, be that, but remember why we're here. We're here to tell the story, the great Australian story, the great modern Australian story, where people from all parts of the world are contributors to it, and it makes us the greatest country in the world. I'll see you on the dance floor later tonight.
Stay here, stay. Jimmy, can you get a Michael Jackson song ready? You're going to do moonwalk? We're going to do the moonwalk. You're going to do it? If any politician in this world that'll do a moonwalk, it'll be Honourable Jihad. Jimmy, you ready? I'm not doing anything. I'm the James Bond, remember? You ready? We got this going, Jimmy? If someone's got that video, SMS it or WhatsApp it to our New South Wales Premier. He'd love that. Round of applause again, ladies and gentlemen, for the Honourable Jihad. Thank you for your time and an amazing speech. We'll continue with our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for Bankstown RSL, G4M, City View Receptions and Majestic Glass. Now, our next speaker has 2 letters in front of his name. More importantly, he's a media manager for the Oz Arab Media, and he's the president of AIM Association. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause, please, for Dr. Sharbil Tados. So we'll do it now. I'll do it now. Yeah. Well, you know what, Jimmy? I'm a little bit upset. Everyone got an intro except for me. I'll remind you the intro again. But right now, turn your attention to the screens. A short message from the Honourable Chris Menz, who couldn't be here this evening. So please turn your attention to either screen on my right or left.
G'day, New South Wales Premier Chris Menz here. I just want to wish everybody at Oz Arab Media a wonderful celebration this evening. This gala dinner is really important in highlighting wonderful journalism and our multicultural communities and the success of the Arabic community in a big, vibrant, diverse city like Sydney. I know you're going to have a great night, and what a wonderful opportunity to recognise this great publication and great journalism in Australia.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the wonderful John Alton for the great emceeing he's doing tonight. Please, a big round of applause. And I would also like to thank DJ Jimmy Thrifty for all the mixing he's doing behind the scenes, so thank you. We now come to my favorite part of the evening, my speech. No, not really. What a fantastic sight this is. Every year, the gala dinner grows a little bigger, a little louder, and thankfully a little more organized, I hope. And after 4 years, I think we can officially say that Oz Arab Media has become more than just a media platform. It has become a real community. Tonight is about celebrating people, the people who show up, the people who volunteer, the people who support multicultural Australia, not just with words, but with actions. And speaking of growth and community, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the incredible year AIM Association has had. This past year has been one of our biggest yet. We've continued to grow our programs, expand our partnerships, and create more opportunities for multicultural Australians to be recognized, celebrated, and empowered. But without a doubt, one of the highlights of the year was the AIM Talent Awards 2025. What started as an idea to give multicultural performers a platform has now become something truly special. The level of talent we saw last year was absolutely incredible. Singers, dancers, musicians, performers from all different backgrounds, all sharing one stage and one message. That multiculturalism is not just something we talk about in Australia, it's something we live. And tonight, you're actually going to get a taste of that magic. Later this evening, we'll be joined by the winner of the AIM Talent Awards 2025, the incredibly talented Stephanie Milostic, who will be performing for us live. Trust me, if you missed the Talent Awards, tonight you'll understand exactly why she won. And while we're on topic, I may as well make life a little more difficult for your calendars. The AIM Talent Awards 2026 has officially been locked for Friday, 2 October 2026. Put it in. So save the date, because this year is going to be even bigger. Now, another initiative that has quietly become one of the things we're most proud of is our op shop. You know, when people hear op shop, they usually imagine mystery boxes, old VHS tapes, and a chair that may or may not collapse when you sit on it. But thanks to the incredible support of our community, our volunteers, and everyone who donates quality items, our op shop has somehow developed a reputation as the upmarket op shop. I'm still not entirely sure how that happened, but apparently the people now walk in saying things like, "This is too nice to be an op shop." So thanks, Rita. And honestly, that support directly helps us continue funding community initiatives, events, and programs. So thank you to everyone who has contributed to it. Of course, none of this would be possible without the support of our volunteers. Not just the volunteers helping tonight, although they absolutely deserve a round of applause. Please, a big round of applause for all the volunteers with us tonight. But also for the volunteers who give their time throughout the year. They carry equipment, they answer messages at midnight, they set up chairs, they film events, they help behind the scenes, and nobody sees it. Community organizations survive because of volunteers. So every year, every volunteer across Oz Arab Media and AIM Association, thank you. Everyone? Thank you. You know, back when I was teaching, they told us something. They told us that when students get too rowdy in class, you need to speak with a low voice, and that will get their attention. Trust me, it didn't work. It worked for the first year, but after that, the kids caught on to it, and they just called out our BS. So anyway, I'm going to jump to our next initiative. Today is the official launch of our new initiative, which is AIM TV. Now, AIM TV, take your phones out, scan the QR code, and download it. AIM TV is a multicultural TV, digital TV network. Every multicultural community will be able to create their own digital TV on this app and share it with everyone in Australia. So please download the app and let's get the magic started. And now we go to my actual favorite part of the night, which is the introduction of our AIM Hero for the year. This year's AIM Hero recipient is a leader who has consistently supported multicultural communities, created welcoming spaces, and helped build strong connections across our society. Please join me in congratulating the CEO of Bankstown RSL, the 2025 AIM Hero Award recipient, Mr. Scott Dixon. Scott, please come to the stage to receive your award and say a few words. DJ.
Look, thank you so much. I'm not sure I'm a local hero, but certainly, this is a reward for our club for what we try and do in the community. I guess some acknowledgements, firstly to our local member, Tony Berg. Thank you so much for your support. Jason Clare, who's been our patron of our club and a wonderful supporter of the RSL over probably 20 years. To G. Hadib, our local member, to Bilal, our mayor, and just a couple of quick thank yous. Thank you to Charbel, thank you to Remy for the night and their support of us and the club itself. Thank you to our board of directors, because ultimately, I'm a paid employee of the club and they administer our club for us, and we've come from over a 20-year period, I guess from the depths of despair to we're really at the point of making some great strides in our community. To just give you an idea, but in terms of our contribution over the last 20 years, we've contributed somewhere at about the $5 million in grants to charitable community organisations. And if you add into that in-kind stuff from offices and support of our sub-ranch to room hires and stuff that we provide for free, you can almost double that amount. And that's an enormous contribution from just a small business in Bankstown. And why am I so grateful for our board of directors? Because they do it for free. Our guys in our business, the guys who are directors of our business and the people who administer what we do day to day don't have any remuneration or financial interest in the business. And that's a unique thing about clubs and one of the great things we love about being involved in it. And my last little thank you is probably to my wife. I'm pleased she's here tonight because she probably wouldn't have believed I was getting the award as she wasn't. So I'm grateful to be here. It's a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I'm a bit embarrassed, but thank you very, very much for having me, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Sorry, photographers, please.
We'll get one of our official photographers up here if you don't mind. Now, Scott, while you're up here, I know you don't want to talk too much as we're waiting for our photographer. You've seen the community change quite a lot, have you not?
Look, for me personally, I grew up in, and so did my wife, we grew up both in small country towns, and when I first came to Bankstown, I was probably like most people, we're a bit nervous, but Bankstown in lots of ways, it's probably the only place I've been outside of the bush community where you have a community like this that works in unison to try and help one another. And I hark back to our board and I look at Tony Stewart, who's our chairman, who is a former member for Bankstown and Lakemba. Now Tony gives his time to us for free. And
amazing.
And if you think over a 20-year period, that's probably administration or being the governance for our board of, probably north of a couple of $100 million in expenditure that goes into our local community. In the last 20 years, we've probably spent $70 million on wages and superannuation. they can't divorce themselves from the statutory responsibilities. They can't divorce themselves from the financial responsibility, and yet they do that for free. And it's an amazing contribution to our community, I believe.
Well done. Mr. Scott Nixon, ladies and gentlemen, CEO of Bankstown RSL. And a big thank you as well to Dr. Sharbir Tadros. Well done. When are you going to have a 5-minute break? We're ahead of schedule, yeah? Well, again, we'll turn our attention to the screens on my right and left, if you all do not mind.
Some businesses are built for profit, others are built for purpose. In 2022, Saudhansi Bulalam and General Rafia founded Australian taxation and financial services not just as a firm, but as a promise to their community. What began with 10 clients has grown into a trusted family of over 400 individuals, students, restaurants, real estate businesses, and corporations, all united by one firm they rely on. When international students arrive in Australia and certain, unfamiliar ATS is there, educating, guiding, lodging their returns at minimal cost, because financial confidence should be available to everyone.